Welcome to the final day of the first ever Formula Wing World Championships taking place here in Cagliari in the south of Sardinia. We've had 4 days of competition so far. We've seen the riders battling with a whole range of wind conditions. Hi, my name's Andy Rice, and with me is President of the IWSA, Mirko Babini. Mirko, it's been a difficult day so far with the wind. Unfortunately, we've lost the golden ticket race, but we are about to get into the women's repechage. So we've still got 10 riders in the game, and the women and the men.
Yes, we know since this morning we pray a lot for the wind, and when the Mistrali start to slow down, then we have to keep the finger crossed. And finally, now the condition seems to be good, and I'm really happy that all the guys are out there, and we're gonna have a lot of race on it.
Yeah, and so I mean we've been lucky so far with the wind this week. It's slightly evaporated our good luck today, and I feel sorry for the golden ticket riders.
Yeah.
In the case of the men, it would have been everyone from 10th place down to 73rd who could have still competed for that 10th and final spot in the race. But that's how it is. Sometimes you have to chop off the end of the series or the start of the series. We've got 2 minutes to go to the start of this repechage race, and we've got 4 riders. Charlotte Baruzzi, well, she by default was given the golden ticket because Charlotte from Italy was lying in 10th place. So she goes to join 3 others, and that is Spain's Izet Segura, Czechia's Kristina Chalupnikova, and Poland's Katarzyna Trautmann. But at the moment, the postponement flag, the red and white flag on the back of the race officer's yacht is flying, so it looks like we have a bit more of a delay, Mirko.
Yes, we can see the AP display on the race committee board. That means that they have probably they need to change or to set up and fix some wind direction. Most probably this kind of wind direction here in the bay when it's too west, then the Sella del Diavolo, the mountain, the hill that is close by, affect the wind, and most probably they will reset properly the course, and it's gonna probably take short time. But at least it's windy. We heard about 11 to 13, so it's good enough.
Yeah, it looks good from the drone shot. It looks like it should be okay. So it's probably not the wind so much as the direction, but you look at the horizon, and that wind doesn't necessarily look like it extends very far, but maybe I wasn't quite seeing it right. What do you think, Mirko? How solid is that breeze?
No, exactly what I was saying before. This kind of direction, we know that is not the good one for Marina Piccola. But it's better when it's more southwest or more northwest. When exactly is from the direction of the Serra del Diavolo, then it shifts and is gusty, so not easy to sail. But I hope that they will find the right spot, and the wind probably will assist us to have the show.
Well, while we're waiting for the postponement to come down, let's look at a recap of the story so far. How have the first 4 days of this competition played out?
The world's top Wing 4 racers have been building up towards the most important event of the season, the first ever Formula Wing World Championships. Taking place in Cagliari in the south of Sardinia, the Worlds has attracted 93 riders from 22 different nations. The event starts with a bang. 4 long-distance races will take the riders to their physical limits, and the high-speed rabbit start generates a massive rush of adrenaline. At the end of the 4 long-distance races, last year's Wing 4 Racing World Cup champion Matthischio leads the standings with Alessandro Tomasi from Italy not far behind the Frenchman in 2nd overall. Big surprise package of the first day was a complete newcomer to Wing 4 competition, Gray Morris from Australia. An Olympic silver medalist from the windsurfing event at Paris 2024, Morris says he's come to compete in the Formula Wing Worlds as a bit of a holiday from his IQ foil racing. In the women's competition, Madalena Spanu won 3 out of the 4 long-distance races, establishing an early lead in the competition ahead of France's Veina Picot. Day 2 marked the start of the short course racing, with 5 heats completed during a breezy afternoon. One of the top performers of the season, Kamil Manawiecki, has been off his game. At the end of a difficult day, he finds himself down in 10th place overall, a long way behind the leader, Matis Guillot. Meanwhile, in the women, Madalena Spanu extended her advantage over Pico and Karolina Kleszynska from Poland in 3rd. Day 3 brought strong southerly breeze gusting over 22 knots with big rolling waves. With the top 20 men's riders now moving into Goldfleet, the racing was even more intense. At last, Manawiecki rediscovered his usual form, the pole winning the day and rising from 10th to 3rd overall. Spanu was unhappy with her mistakes on the women's race course. 3 other girls found an extra gear, with Kleszynska, Pico and Greece's Emilia Costi closing in on the Italian leader. Day 4 was a roller coaster with 6 chaotic races for the men. Somehow Guillot rose above the confusion to score some solid results and claim the yellow jersey for the final day. He's joined in the men's final by Francesco Capuzzo, who battled his way into the blue jersey ahead of Alessandro Tomasi. Veina Picot sailed brilliantly in the late afternoon session, the French rider doing just enough to guarantee her place in the women's final alongside Spanu. Now only the final day of racing remains. But thanks to the groundbreaking format of the Golden Ticket long distance race and the knockout rounds of the medal series, anyone can still win in Sardinia.
So we have 2 minutes until the start of the women's repechage. It is a 4-rider single race, so it's the first 2 across the finish line will progress to the next round, the quarterfinal. And there we have our 4 riders. Poland's Katarzyna Trautman, Czechia's Kristina Chalupnikova, Spain's Izet Segura, and the golden ticket winner from Italy, Charlotte Baruzzi. And you can see there's a range of equipment here, both in terms of foil and wing choice. Chubanga on 2 of the foil sets in this race. But this is the Formula Wing. They are limited to 2 foil sets and 2 wings for the competition. And what you choose, what sizes you choose and what you decide to put on for the day, all those are critical decisions. And it's a constant worry for the riders when the wind changes. Are they on the right piece of equipment? Well, with 1 minute to go, too late to change their mind now. Port or starboard tack in a 4-rider race. What do you reckon, Mirko?
I think they will stay more on starboard and to go far away from Sella del Diavolo, from the hill, the cape, because probably the wind will be a little bit more. I mean, not risk to have a patchy part on the right side, but let's see.
Well, we can't see them in picture. Oh no, sorry, there they are. It looks like it is going to be 4 coming in on starboard. And that is it Segura with the pink board and the PPC wing, the white wing. She is leading in with the other 3 following in. 5 seconds to go. How is it Segura's timing? It looks very close. Is it Segura starts at the right-hand end of the screen, and to windward of her, it's a clear start. We've got Trautman from Poland, Chalupnikova from Czechia, and Charlotte Baruzzi from Italy.
Yeah, they're pumping a lot. They're really pumping a lot, them as well. So the wind is really patchy, because you can see the different angle on the way upwind. And yeah, the ozone, the black ozone is quite high on the upwind. Yeah,
So-
probably they will continue till the end because it's short. The race is short, and
So one has tacked out to the right-hand side. We're just trying to identify who that is. But now the others reach the close to the port handle A line. And now the last of the starboard tackers tacks onto port tack. Is it Segura? Charlotte Baruzzi? Coming in from this side. And it doesn't look like it's worked out well from the far side of the course. It looks like it's been a big gain for those who went left.
yeah. You can see, I mean, look at the one with the black, not bad at all. So she did quite on the middle. But definitely it pay off, stay on the left.
And around goes Chalupnikova
Yeah,
in the
Czech
lead
one.
with it very tight between the other three. Baruzzi going round in second, Troutman in third. Sorry, Segura in second, Troutman in third, and Baruzzi in fourth. So Chalupnikova looking very strong in this race right now. Will Segura be able to close the gap? Remember, this is one race. It doesn't actually matter if you're first or second. So actually, maybe Segura is thinking more defensively. She's just got to hold that second place. And it's very close between Segura, Baruzzi and Troutman. Chalupnikova does have a nice advantage. And Baruzzi going down the far side of the course, close to the Devil's Cape.
So let's see if they will make the same choice on the second round.
The black wing of Chalupnikova going round the bottom of the course, and she chooses to go out to the left-hand side. That's the side that paid on the first windward leg. And look at the lead that Chalupnikova has. It's Baruzzi coming down in second.
No, there is that Baruzzi, that one with the goal.
Okay,
Yeah.
so is Etsugura still in second? Baruzzi in third, and Troutman bringing up the rear in fourth. And Chalupnikova has tapped back over towards the right-hand side to defend, while we see Troutman go straight into a very smooth tack. So she's lying fourth. She doesn't want to follow second and third. She might as well start rolling the dice because Troutman is running out of road. But here is the battle between Baruzzi and Segura. This is the critical battle and a really close port starboard there. Chalupnikova, it's up to her to hold that lead, and she still holds a pretty reasonable lead. But it's the battle for second and third where it's more likely that we're going to see the drama, because it's all about the first two getting across the line first in this single repechage race. And
Yes, exactly. It's only between them. They know that it's really important to get into the top two. So the first one is far front forward. There is no way unless some mistake happen. But she's really in the front, pretty safe. If nothing happen, so stay quiet, no mistake until the last rounding top mark.
Chalupnikova in the middle of our screen with the predominantly black wing just tacking onto port tack, still defending up towards the top of the course, but looking pretty comfortable right now. So the Czech rider looking increasingly likely to progress to the next round, to the quarterfinal in the women's competition in the Formula Wing Worlds in Cagliari. And another well-executed tack by Chalupnikova, as she gets ready to fly around this red windward mark and on the downwind leg towards the bottom of the course. But still a lot to play for with the rest, because it's up to the other three to see who is going to grab the one remaining spot along with Chalupnikova into the next round. Chalupnikova flying downwind at around 20 knots, a little bit over.
Oh,
And
Troutman.
somehow has got into the lead. So Troutman, if you remember, did an immediate attack at the leeward mark and decided to try something different. Could that prove to be the winning move? She's now moved ahead of Is It Segura. And Charlotte Baruzzi, the golden ticket winner from Italy, now in fourth place and a long way back. Here comes our leader, Chalupnikova, coming down towards the bottom of the course. Looking very steady. She doesn't even need to push. She's got such a good lead.
Yeah.
300-meter lead.
She doesn't need to pump. Better to keep some energy for the next one.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's not long to wait before she's through to the next race, which will be the quarterfinal, where she'll be lining up against Germany's Jette Koop and France's Anaïs Desjardins. So, cruising down towards the bottom of the course, looking very relaxed. She can enjoy these final few meters towards the finish. And a well-executed race and a victory for Chalupnikova, and the smallest of celebrations. And down towards the bottom of the course, here comes Troutman, and what an amazing overtake by Troutman to move into second and to claim the other remaining spot into the quarterfinal. And Is It Segura will be kicking herself. I mean, she had to battle with somebody, and she chose Charlotte Baruzzi, but in the end, it was Troutman breaking away from the boards ahead of her, taking a different route up that final last windward leg that has given that second ticket through to the quarterfinal to Katarzyna Troutman. So that's the end of the road for Is It Segura from Spain and Charlotte Baruzzi from Italy. We will be back to you in just a quick moment.
We really believed in the double skin concept, and we're super happy that it's been so successful.
So one race down, and now it's the turn of the men to have their repechage. And so we've got 4 riders lining up for this. France's Thomas Proust goes through in 10th place, the golden ticket winner, and he joins Ernesto Doemicis from Italy, Bastien Escoffier from France, and Oscar Leclerc from France. And earlier in the week, Oscar Leclerc was up in the top 4. He's had a good part of the week. He dropped down a little bit yesterday, but Oscar Leclerc has shown some really good form this week. And we got 1 minute to the start. And Mirko, based on what we've just seen, I know you don't like what's it called, the Devil's Cape, Diabolo, the cliff, on
Terra del Diavolo.
What does that mean in English?
It's a devil saddle.
Oh, the Devil's Saddle, yes, the Devil's Saddle. So that's on the right-hand side of the course. So if anyone chooses to do a port tack start, yes, you get to do one less tack. That's one of the benefits. But you do edge a little bit too close to the Devil's Saddle on the right-hand side of the race course. It's a big promontory. a few hundred feet high.
Yes, exactly. And the wind, which is not really strong, obvious. If you get into a patchy part with light wind, then you might run in trouble.
It looks like, as with the women, everyone is going to stay away from the Devil's Saddle. Everyone's going for a starboard hand start, and it's Oscar Leclerc closest to us with the red and yellow wing, getting launched and coming off the leeward end of the line. He's got his own line here, and meanwhile, further to windward, look at the battle between those three. It's looking very competitive indeed coming out of this start. And that is Bastien Escoffier to windward. Just trying to identify who's tacked away. I think maybe that was Thomas Proust is the first to tack away. So it's Thomas Proust with the red and white wing. That's who we see now. That's the Devil's Saddle in the background. That's what we've been talking about, that huge cliff, that huge promontory. So Thomas Proust through because of the golden ticket. What damage will he be able to do on that side of the race course?
Yeah, he went on the other side, but just to be a little bit farther out from the other, probably to have some clean air, but it didn't went all the way through to the other side.
It's not worked out well for him.
Doesn't work out, yeah. Ernesto, it seems that Ernesto is quite in a good position, and Oscar as well. Now,
close tack there.
Super close.
Advantage Ernesto De Amicis, who's going to lead in towards this top mark. But
let's say Oscar probably he will risk. Yeah, he risk too much.
So De Amicis round in first, Escoffier second. Leclerc should still hold third, but he's given away a lot of distance with that double tack at the top of the course, and Proust playing catch up at the back. So Ernesto De Amicis from Italy, the only Italian against three Frenchmen. Will the Italian on home waters be able to book his place through to the next round, the quarterfinals, where he'll be going up against a New Zealander and an Australian who have already booked their places in the quarterfinal? So far, so good for Ernesto De Amicis, just 18 years old.
Yes, exactly. And is using the 6.2. We can see the size, so not a big size. It's pumping a lot anyway, so very good position, and being in front is always better on the light wind.
Beautiful jibe, and it seems to be established that going left is the way to go, and that's the way that Troutman actually overtook the other two girls at the bottom of the race course at this point of the race course in the women's repechage just now. So I'm increasingly agreeing with you, Mirko, that starting on starboard and getting out to the left-hand side of the course does look like the safer bet today. It looks like
exactly.
I wish I could say Diabolo.
Sella del Diavolo.
Sella del Diabolo. Sella del Diabolo.
Yeah.
The Devil's Saddle. It's having an effect today.
Yeah, just stay away from Sella del Diavolo. Yeah, but they are still pretty close, and Bastien and De Amicis.
It looks like Bastien Escoffier has actually overtaken De Amicis. It looks like we've got a really tight battle now for first and second place. But just to remind you that it doesn't really matter. There's no point in fighting for bragging rights and potentially getting in trouble. These two could just stay out of each other's way. They've just got to stay ahead of Proust and Leclerc. And Proust has moved into third. I'm not sure what's happened to Leclerc. He seems to have dropped off the map.
Yeah, he went also again on the other side to try if he find out some lucky side, lucky part, but that didn't work out at all.
No, and Proust has maybe closed a little bit, but he's still a long way back. But this is a really good windward leg just executed by Bastien Escoffier, who's now quite comfortably moved into the lead of De Amicis. Bastien Escoffier riding with gong equipment, and Ernesto De Amicis with the north wing that we were looking at earlier. Looks like a close battle between third and fourth, between Leclerc and Proust. Looks like Leclerc has actually got ahead of Proust, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. the important thing is for them to try and overtake one of the front two. There's Bastien Escoffier just going out of picture, really pumping hard with his legs. But at the same time, he's got to preserve those legs for him to progress through to the next round and be able to take on Sean Herbert and Gray Morris, who have already got their spots in the quarterfinal. But Bastien Escoffier, he does a deep line into the bottom of the mark, into the bottom of the course, and he can now relax. Look at him puffing. He's really, he put a lot of effort in there, didn't he?
Yeah, he pumped a lot.
I think he's slightly underjibed, didn't he? He gave himself quite a lot to do to get down to the bottom of the course, and probably his legs didn't thank him for that. But anyway, well done to Bastien Escoffier and Ernesto de Amicis, who takes the second spot into the quarterfinal. So he can still relax, even though he didn't win the race. It doesn't really matter, but commiserations to Leclerc and Proust from France, because that's the end of the road for them. Quick break. We'll be back to you shortly. So that was the end of the repechage. And now we move into the quarterfinal phases. And it's going to be the women's quarterfinal coming up. And we saw Katarzyna Trautman and Kristina Chalupnikova moving through from the repechage. And they will be joining Jette Koop from Germany and Anaïs May Desjardins from France.
Exactly. Two ozone, one Vayu, and one PPC. Three different brands also on the next, so easy to try to recognize them after the start.
And the wind's still okay, right? It is going to be okay. I look at that image for a moment. I think, oh, is it going to be all right? But I think she's just taking it easy.
Probably dropped a little bit, but it seems that it's enough. The one that are flying, still flying.
Right, there are our four competitors in the women's quarterfinal. Jette Koop on Sab full foil and Vayu wing. Anaïs May Desjardins on Shubanga and Ozone wing. And it's Ozone wings for the two qualifiers from the repechage, Kristina Chalupnikova and Katarzyna Trautman. Now that you're safely through, Mirko, who would you rather be? Would you have rather had the experience of the repechage, or would you rather have saved your legs and save your body for this race?
I mean, with this kind of competition, there is nothing to save unless you are front forward and you can take it a little bit and relax. Obvious, more forward we go and more effort they have to do to stay in front, because as you said, only the top two advance. And I think the level of those four will be quite closer. So I guess they will pump and stay closer each other. It's going to be really important not to go too much to the right side, play well with the timing on jibe and attack. Let's see who is going to pump more. 2 minutes to go.
We've been following Jette Koop, number 107 on her back with the red wing in the middle of picture. She's been fifth for most of the week. She's been slightly ahead of these other three. So I would say that Jette Koop does start as favourite, but of course this is one race. As long as she finishes in the top two, then she will go through to the next round. So she would start as the favourite. And in the
Smooth.
background, Poito Beach,
Yeah. Oh.
1 minute 15. It looks intentional. 1 minute. You don't think so?
I don't think so. On this kind of marginal condition, it's better to stay flying, to stay up all the time.
Well, she looks pretty relaxed.
Let's see.
I wonder if she's seen something that we haven't. I'm just wondering, is there a postponement or something? I mean, why would you take that risk? It does seem a bit strange with 45 seconds to go that you wouldn't hop up onto the foil. But I'm not sensing any sense of panic from those that are floating in the water right now. It does seem... Oh, race start delayed. Okay, so...
We said.
Yeah. All right, we'll go to a quick break. We'll be back to you shortly.
Yeah. Yeah, the wind drop, definitely drop.
Right, let's go to a quick break. If I can...
And we're super happy that it's been so successful.
Okay, there is our race officer with his customary blue blazer, his white hat, and there is Stuart Childley from Great Britain, very experienced race officer, seeing how the wing foil world works. And hello to you, Stewie. A double Olympian in the Finn class back in the late 80s and early 90s. He competed in the Finn in 1988, 1992, finished fourth. So not a place you want to finish in the Olympics, but he was a world-class sailor and also winner of Etchells World Championships, and these days best known for running some of the most important races in the world. And he'll be very interested to see how things work in this competition. Mirko, it's a really interesting format. I regret that we didn't get to see the golden ticket race, but I love the fact that anybody in the whole competition can still win on the final day, because there's some disappointed people in Silverfleet who expected to be in Goldfleet. They would have gone home by now. They would have taken an early plane home, but they stuck around because they had hoped that today would be their turn to get out of jail, get that golden ticket and get back into the competition. Didn't work out that way, but the opportunity was there this morning.
Yes, exactly. The golden ticket format is really a good way to keep engaged all the rest of the fleet, all the rest of the competitors, because you reach the last day and most of the competitors, they are disappointed for whatever reason. And having the golden ticket, having this long distance where the first one jump into the top 10, getting as is called, the golden ticket, is a great opportunity, and it seems that everyone loved the chance to run the golden ticket on last day. And unfortunately today the wind didn't help and didn't give us the timing to run it, and is what it is. I mean, we have to take what we get from the wind side. There is no way to pay for the wind.
No, we're in a weather-based sport, and that's the bit we still can't quite get around. We can try and change formats and change equipment, but in the end, you've still got to work with what you've got to work with. Mirko, you're a busy man, aren't you? We're coming to the end of 1 week. I'm aware of 2 other events, but I'm sure there are many others happening in Cagliari. It seems to be the centre of the sailing universe right now, because we have a day's break and then you and I are both involved in the Formula Kite World Championship with the Olympic kiteboarders next week further along Poeto Beach. And then the week after that, it is the 49er and NACRA 17 and 49er FX, I should say, World Championships. There we see the 49ers, the men's 49ers, out doing training with their distinctive black North 3DI sails. So they're already here in force, even though it's over a week away from their competition. It is the most important competition of the year for them, as any World Championship is, as it is for our Formula Wing riders. But there's a lot of good world-class sailors in town right now.
Yes, exactly. As you said, it's going to be really a busy weeks starting from last week and the next 3. And as we see all the 49er and also the NACRA 17, they join Cagliari really early September. I was trying to convince all of them not to come in August, because this is unbelievable crowded. It would have been a disaster to have them end of August, but few of them, they were really pushing to come as early as possible. So we get the chance to have all the other international classes, also the kite included, to come here not earlier than the 10th of September. So when the school begin in Italy, at least most of the family, I mean, the beaches are less crowded, also the sea. So it's going to be really interesting from after tomorrow, the Formula Kite, the Olympic class of the kite, which I really remember always the first ever Formula Kite on 2012 year, back in the days, with the inflatable kites and the 3-fin board, which it seems to be Jurassic. If we see now, it was like 30 years ago. No, it was 13. And that's amazing how things develop, and in the way that we are now, we can see the kite, I don't know, probably on the corner behind the 49er. Yesterday we had, from the drone shot, you can spot on all the kite on Margine Rosso side, where the Charlie course will be, and then now where all the NACRA and the 49er, it will become the Bravo area, and then where we have the wing now is the Alpha. So we cover all the bay, and for the next 3 weeks it will be the same.
And it's a huge bay, because it takes a good 10 minutes just to drive at a reasonable speed from one end of the bay to the other. So we're talking about a big stretch of water, but we need all of it for these fast boats, don't we?
Yes, exactly. It's a 12 kilometer, more or less, from one side to the other, so 6 nautical mile. And most of them, we had the opportunity to have them on Quarto. There is one little sailing club on Margine Rosso, and then there is Capitana, another little small harbor on the other corner.
We're looking at Gray Morris there. He says he's here on holiday, and it was pretty funny seeing Francesco Capuzzo from Italy having a go at his friend Gray Morris at the end of day one, because there was Capuzzo, who's been wing four racing for the last few years, handing on all his knowledge to this poor beginner who's never wing four raced before. And what does Gray Morris do? But he goes out and he smashes out some fantastic results to come in 3rd overall after day one, his first ever day of racing. But if all that sounds surprising, it's less surprising when you hear that Gray Morris is an Olympic silver medalist, and was a little bit unfortunate, it has to be said, not to win the gold medal in Marseille at the Paris 2024 games last year. So he knows his way around a foiling board on the IQ foil, and he's got immense cardiovascular fitness. But well, in fact, we could show you a video of Gray Morris. So rather than me talk about him, why don't we hear it in his own words?
I'm currently in Cagliari for the Formula Wing Worlds, and about 10 days ago I was doing the IQ Foil Under 23 Worlds in Portugal, which I found out about this event and decided to give it a shot, where I reached out and got some gear, and yeah, it's been amazing. We've had great weather, great wind, and I'm just enjoying the process of learning something new. So leading up to the Olympics, I was in a mindset of I'm going there to win a gold medal. So coming away with a silver medal, I was not quite satisfied, a little bit disappointed, but knew I was heading the right direction. Doing as many events as possible is the key for me. And so in my campaign, I try to do as much training leading into an event. And this is the end of my European season for the IQ foil, which ended about a week ago. And then, yeah, I decided I'd do a few more competitions in a bit more different environment, something that I'm not used to. I probably have high expectations, but I don't know how I'm going to go. And so it's quite a weird pressure being around the wing foiling environment. For me, it's good practice for my Olympic campaign because it's different racing. There's very high skill athletes here who are really good at racing, and it's pushing me in a different level than I've been pushed on the IQ. Losing's quite scary, and so I think jumping into a sport that you don't train in or doing something you're not completely confident, like for example, I barely know how to tack properly on the wing foil, and I'm kind of figuring it all out while I'm here. It's quite a big step for me. It's super high pressure. I think I have a lot of expectations surrounding me, even though I'm more so on a break and just enjoying myself. There's still high expectations, and I'm kind of just living for the pressure at the moment and trying to experience that level. Day one was a rabbit start on my very unnatural side, so I knew there was no way I was going to be able to hold a solid line or pump up against all these other guys who have been very experienced and super skillful. I just decided to take it easy on the start. My main goal was not to crash. That's always a fun one. I knew going into day one it was going to be super tough. Kind of left myself with no expectations. I just thought, have a bit of fun, do a bit of racing, and from the first race I'll see what is possible for me. And yeah, I had quite a bad start in the first race and managed to get, I think, second to the top mark. And at that top mark, I realized that today could be a kind of pretty good day for me if I stay focused and try to make as little amount of mistakes as possible. But I was purely just going in to have fun and kind of just be in a different environment and see what everyone's capable of.
So race start continues to be delayed, so we're waiting on finding out what's happening there. Gray Morris, has been an absolute pleasure to get to know Gray this week. He's a scholar and a gentleman, and also a fantastic sailor, incredibly humble, and hearing how this 21-year-old meets defeat, almost greets defeat and failure more than he does winning and victory, because every defeat is an opportunity to learn. He's really enjoyed his week this week, and really nice to see that well, PPC, who lent him a wing, and Chubanga, who lent him a board and a foil, are getting good mileage out of that. And unlike most of the competitors who have measured in or registered 2 wings and 2 foil sets, Gray Morris has been racing off just one 6.5 wing and the same foil set all week, and he's in 6 overall. So it goes to show what you can achieve even if you've only got one set of equipment through variable range of conditions. That's pretty impressive, isn't it, Mirko?
For sure, this kind of wing, they allowed you to have a super wide wind range, and probably it's only the low end, which Gray Morris, we saw it the couple of races where the wind was close to limit. He didn't get the really good result, but when he had a good power on the 6.5, then it was perfect. It was almost in front.
Right.
It's really, really great. Yeah.
Well, we just saw Thomas Proust being dropped off by the rib. He's gone back to shore along with the others that have been knocked out from the early rounds. And we're 3 minutes away from the start of the quarter-final, and that looks like the black wing of possibly Chalupnikova, who is going to be one of our competitors in this quarter-final. So this is the women's quarter-final.
Yeah.
And we saw our 2 qualifiers from the repechage Chalupnikova from Czechia and Trautmann from Poland move through into the next round, where they're up against Germany's Jette Koop and France's Anaïs Desjardins. So it's going to be a light one, but hopefully enough to get going. And we've seen the power of the left-hand side, so we can expect all 4 riders to start on starboard. Just under 2 minutes to go. And that is Chalupnikova just working the board up onto the foil, or maybe not.
Yeah, she's waiting for a little gust to have a proper pumping.
And there in the background you see the Olympic classes, the 49er and the NACRA in the far distance across the bay.
And then on the right corner, what we saw now, it will be the racing area for the kite on our right hand.
Yeah, I thought maybe we'd see some kites out there actually, but maybe, I don't know, is it
Probably
sort of a
Sunday.
quarantine kind of day?
Probably Sunday. They have been training all every day since 2 weeks. Probably today they take a Sunday off.
Okay.
We saw a couple of pictures from them walking on Sella del Diavolo, walking somewhere. So social always helps to understand where they are.
Yeah, true. Yeah, doing a bit of recon, but also taking a bit of time out. Oh no, we didn't want to see that. The postponement flag's gone up again. So we go to another delay. We'll go to a quick break and we'll be back to you shortly. So unfortunate news for our quarterfinal qualifiers who came through from the repechage. Unfortunately, they don't go any further because we're running out of time to fit in the schedule. So that means that in the case of the women, Trautmann from Czechia and Chalupnikova from Poland won't go any further in the competition. Meanwhile, the 2 that are already booked their place in the quarterfinal, now cancelled, go into the semi-final. So Jette Koop from Germany and Anaïs Desjardins from France will be going into the semi-final to go up against the 2 that are already booked their spot there. That's Emilia Kosti from Greece and Karolina Kluszynska from Poland. So we hope for better fortune and that we manage to see through the semi-final. And there's a similar scenario for the men. Out go Escofet and Ernesto de Amicis.
Those 2.
Yeah,
Sean
and
Albert
they will
Graham
be
Morris,
joining.
they go.
Yeah, exactly, Mirko. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that De Amicis and Escofet are no longer in the competition, but Sean Herbert and Gray Morris, who were the quarterfinal qualifiers, are moving into the semi-final, where they will join Alessandro Tomasi from Italy and Kamil Maniwiecki from Poland.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be a pretty interesting one.
Yeah. We are getting to the business end now. We're down to the final 6 in each of the men's and the women's competition. Not necessarily the way that we would have liked to have done, but that's the harsh reality. And I feel for them because we've got away with it. Maybe it was our karma finally ran out, Mirko, because it feels like we've been riding the edge of some bad forecasts that have come out in our favour, and today it's not quite coming good to see out the whole competition. So we just have to make the best of what we have.
Yes, exactly. We have to be patient. The wind, it will blow. We need to I mean, they are doing a really good job. If the wind doesn't play well, it's okay to have some delay and run the race when there is proper condition, which they're doing really good job now so far. And let's hope that the condition on the semi-final will be okay.
Oh dear. Bastien Escoffier not very happy, remonstrating with the race committee. I'm not sure it's going to do him much good. But Bastien Escoffier clearly upset that he has now been cancelled from the competition, having won his place through to the quarterfinal, but no opportunity to take it further. Some tough decisions have to be made. You can understand why emotions are running high, Mirko. You put all this effort in, and you aren't able to show what you can do. It's a tough game.
Yeah, for sure. For Bastien Escoffier, obvious, he ran his repechage. He won the repechage, and he know that in this condition is quite good, and he really believed that himself can have really good result on the quarterfinal as well to gain some more position and to get a better position at the end of this World Championship. So you can imagine for competitors cancelling the quarterfinal, it means that the world is over for him after winning a repechage heat, and that's normal. I mean, I guess that everyone else would have go close to the race committee and try to say something.
But Michał Jodorowsky, he's thinking about the bigger picture. It's a high-stress job. I know it's one that you've done many times yourself, Mirko, so you know what it feels like.
Yeah, it's for sure when the wind doesn't play 100% on the right direction, it's quite stressful. I can tell you.
I'm sure it is. I'm thinking that is probably one of our women's semi-finalists. It's the women's semi-final we're going to see now. That's Karolina Kluczynska from Poland with her very distinctive pink wing from the brand called The Virus. Any idea why it's called The Virus?
The Virus is a Polish brand, so looks really cool, and they are doing good job. They invest a lot, and they're fully committed to keep going and give to their athletes a really good product. And we can see more and more. Every event there is some more. So it looks cool.
It does. It's really good to see. And so it's a Polish rider being loyal to a Polish brand. And do you see things starting to close in on us in a certain direction with the wing design, or is there still a lot of difference in wing design?
I mean, we can definitely see two major design, a full double skin, like ozone, like the Virus, like the Vayu and the RRD and Zauli. But on the other end, we have Gong, PPC, and few more with the 50% double skin, but not full, and not Remair, but with just an half profile that help the wing to have better performance. So far, I like both. I've been try both side, both kind of wing. The full Ramair, the full double is quite better and easy to manage when it's strong wind. But the other one is little bit difficult. You pump more, but it's more difficult to maneuver.
So the full double skin is easier to maneuver, is it?
Yeah.
It seems like you need a bigger, when you go from a conventional single skin to a double skin, you need a bigger wing size to generate the same amount of power. Is that correct?
Yes, you need a little bit bigger size. Correct.
And obviously you're limited here to just 2, and it's one either side of 5.5 square meters. So we talked about Gray Morris on the 6.5. I think we see some 7s this week. Have we seen anything bigger than a 7?
Probably 7.5. I don't remember to saw in the paddock area, on the competitors area, some 8, but probably if there was some 8, they were the old single skin.
Okay.
There's a couple single skin 8, but double no. I don't see any bigger than 7.3.
Okay. Just under 1 minute to go, and well, we're seeing a few boards floating in the water. We're seeing some on the foil, but yeah, are they really going to leave their run to get up onto the foil as late as we see, or are they struggling to get onto the foil? 35 seconds to go, and I don't really see a pattern developing here yet.
No. Carolina, yes.
Yeah, she's been flying around the whole time. She's wanted to stay on that foil, maybe not wanting to risk dropping off the foil. 17 seconds to go. Jetakerp doesn't look like she is particularly fussed about getting on the foil. I just wonder again if we're missing something here. Well, it looks like Karolina Kleczynska's taking this seriously. And there is start time. Is she the only one actually up on the foil? Has Karolina Kleczynska run away with an early start because she's the only one on the foil? Surely not. Wow. So we've been interesting that we've been following Kleczynska around so much with the camera because she's been foiling consistently, and maybe she saw from a number of minutes out that she better stay on the foil, because if she drops off the foil, maybe it's not going to come back for her.
Yeah, November.
Oh dear.
Yeah, November.
Okay,
flag.
so the end flag, the blue and white flag, means that that start has been abandoned.
Yeah.
Wow. That could have been quite a dramatic win for Kleczynska if that had gone ahead. I don't know what you do. If you, what's your view? If you're a race officer, Mick, I'm not saying that this is the reason why the end flag is flying. Maybe there are other reasons, but if you see only one boat or board starting across the line on the foil and everyone else is off the foil, is it still okay to let the race go?
Yes, it's okay. It's up to the race officer. But if he display in November, just abandon the race, he figure out that the race would have been not fair and the win patchy, so not everywhere. So there is a part of luck that doesn't work in our sport. So abandon the race is one of the good things to do when there is not fairness play around the course.
Okay, we'll go to a quick break. We'll be back to you shortly.
And we're super happy that it's been so successful.
So the women's race start was abandoned. That's Emilia Costi having a grin. The Greek rider, she sailed fantastically yesterday evening, and it was a really close battle. But behind Madalena Spanu, who has led for pretty much all week in the women, between the next three, Francis Vaina-Pico, Emilia Costi from Greece, and Karolina Kleczynska from Poland, so close on the points. But it was Vaina-Pico, who we haven't yet seen, who has booked her spot in the final. So Costi and Kleczynska were the ones that were due to start that race just then. But we understand that we're going to give the men a chance to have their semi-final. Let's see if the 4 men in this competition can stay on the foil. We've just seen Kamil Manewiecki from Poland in the green jersey just go past us. And I'm not sure who that was with the black wing then. That's Manewiecki again. And he's going to be up against Italy's Alessandro Tomasi, who we can expect to see in the red bib. And the Australian and the New Zealander. The New Zealander, Sean Herbert, 5th going into today. Gray Morris from Australia, 6th going into today. So they have progressed into the semi-final to go up against the Italian and the Pole. And we've got 4 really class riders here who've all got that instinct for winning. Manewiecki, he's been a bit all over the place this week. He started the week really badly. By the end of day 2, he was 10th. Bearing in mind, Manewiecki won the last big event in Daishan, China, just earlier this month. But there is that switch from in the Kitefall World Series. You can use whatever equipment you like. You can use whatever wing size, whatever foil set you want. It's fully open development. Whereas, as we've talked about with Formula Wing, for this event, you're limited to 2 wing sizes and 2 foil sets. And I don't know if it's the equipment or the conditions, but Manewiecki was struggling back in 10th. Then he had a fantastic day on day 3 to get up to 3rd. And then he had a mixed day on day 4 where he was a bit all over the place. But he's still very much in the hunt. And he's in 4th with the green jersey to say that he's 4th. Do you think Manewiecki can still win this, or is our yellow bib Matischio too strong this week, do you think, Mirko?
With these 2 kind of athletes, because they are really athletes, super professional, no one knows. But I can tell you, both of them, they will pump until the last second to stay in front of each other. But we don't have to remember that so far, over the last week, Alessandro Tomasi, he proved that he can be really in front. And let's see, Sean, I'm really curious to see this semi-final, honestly, because we have really different competitors with different skill. Where Kamil, we know, is super focused, super tactics, and he tried to do everything perfect. And then we have Ale Tomasi, super strong, go fast, focused on speed. And Sean Herbert also as well, super fast. He doesn't do any mistake most of the time. He's really clean on his race tactics. And Gray Morris, which for sure is the one with less wing experience, but for sure he will take advantage if the wind is patchy or gusty, or just need to pump a lot. So it's gonna be interesting. Looking also that in Ale Tomasi was not flying yet.
And looking relaxed. He didn't look like he was in any urgent hurry to get on the foil. So again,
I would say 50 seconds to go is better to foil.
Well, a bit like the other Polish rider that we mentioned earlier, Karolina Kluszynska. Here's a Polish rider, Kamil Manewiecki, who's taking no risks, and he's staying on the foil the whole time. He just has decided that when it's go time, you never know what wind's going to be there. And if he's on the foil and the others aren't, then he could take the advantage, just like Karolina Kluszynska did in that abandoned start of the women's semi-final just a few minutes ago. 25 seconds to go. Let's see how Manewiecki's timing is coming into this start. "13 seconds to go, and I'm not sure.
Gray Morris, Sean is not in foil.
3, 2, 1, and race start delayed.
Yeah.
So I wonder how long they've known that for, because I mean, Alessandro Tomasi was looking relaxed. Kamil Manewiecki, just like the other Polish rider, Karolina Kluszynska, treated it as a proper start. So it seems like the Poles are applying some discipline to these starts, even if they know that they've been abandoned. It's a good time on distance practice. And as you've seen in the America's Cup, Mirko, in those marginal foiling races in AC40s and AC75s, if you can stay on the foil for the 3 minutes before the start and never drop off the foil, it's a massive advantage over those that are just floating in the water.
Exactly, massive, yes.
We'll just go to a quick break and we'll be back to you shortly. So while we're on this race start delay, I just want to show you a video about the challenge, the problem that wing foiling has trying to accommodate all sizes of rider. It's a common problem that we've already seen in Formula Kite and the IQ foil windsurfers, that as soon as you start foiling and generating huge amounts of apparent wind, you need a lot of weight to be able to harness that power as efficiently as possible. But that ends up with just it being a game for big riders if we're not careful. So here's a video that lays out that problem from the athlete's point of view.
We have to try and create a situation where I can compete and so can everyone else.
I really would like that we make it fair for all the different people.
We're gonna always want the bigger sail. Bigger sail is faster in all the sailing. We're the sailing class.
For the brands that are going to 8, 8.5 or 9 meters.
At the beginning of the year, I started with 6.5 wing. Now I'm almost on 8 meters wing. So maybe next year I'm gonna grow to 9 meters.
If I didn't have the 8 meter, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to be competitive.
If we limited the wing size to 6.5 meters, I think I could remain competitive.
Well, for the open challenge, it's open challenge, so I don't think there should be any limit. And for Formula Wing, I do think there should be a limit.
I think to keep the class in a positive environment, I think wing size should be the part that's limited.
I can understand to limit the size of the wing because we have to look at the average people in the fleet.
If you don't put any limitations, for sure people will try to hold bigger and bigger wings, that's for sure.
If we continue on the direction we are currently, I don't think I'll be able to compete competitively in the wingfoil class next season.
I really wish the wingfoil will not finish like kite or the IQ foil with the only heavy people.
I think it should be restricted for next year to be able to include the most people into the wingfoil sport.
If we don't stop it now, we're just gonna grow more and more.
Eventually have one body type and one weight that works well in this class, and that's going to be a very heavy and tall rider.
Just hope that we won't have to get any bigger.
That is not going to be a good direction for the class.
Very interesting, difficult subject, and two of the people speaking in that video, well, we've got them competing in this men's semi-final coming up. That's Poland's Kamil Manowiecki and Sean Herbert from New Zealand. So I know I wouldn't want my height and weight broadcast, so it's very, very good of all those athletes to share their heights and weights with them. And what a range of competitors we've got. And Gray Morris, well, he's a big guy. I think he must be at least 1.90 meters and weighing close to 100 kilos. Kamil Manowiecki more like 80 kilos. Sean Herbert somewhere in the 70 kilo mark, and Tomasi, I would say probably around the 80 kilo mark. Do you agree with that, Mirko?
Yes, I agree. Probably Alessandro Tomasi is the smallest.
Right, and he's still quite a tall guy.
Yeah.
50 seconds to go. So far, so good. One of the 49ers just off right of picture, just sailing around the edge of the start area. We're looking at Tomasi. in the middle of the picture and going through a jibe, wanting to stay safely on that foil with just 33 seconds to go. And just to leeward, that's on the right-hand side of your screen, that's Sean Herbert. And going across on port, that's Kamil Manowiecki, just gone out of picture. So here comes the dance, the final dance into the start. I can see 3 on starboard. I'm wondering if Gray Morris is going to fly in from the other side. Gray Morris doesn't, his strong foot is on port tack, but where it's a clear start, but only see 3 starters.
Look at all different angles.
Gray Morris, I think, is in the water, struggling. If you look at top of screen, he's working like crazy. Top of screen going out right of picture. I think Gray Morris is off the foil and has missed the start. So that's super unfortunate for the Australian. So now we're in a 3-way fight, and all you want to do between these 3 is not finish third. It's a really, it's early days at the moment, but Alessandro Tomasi to windward towards the top of your picture. He's the one who is out by himself, and then it's Kamil Manowiecki who's just tacking there with the advantage ahead of Sean Herbert.
Okay, now he's foiling, but too late.
Well, Gray Morris with the blue bib, he said he came here on a bit of a holiday, so hopefully he's not going to beat himself up too much for missing the start, but he's really relying on some big errors from the others now if he's going to stay in the game. And well, early doors, it looks like in a line, it's Tomasi just tacking who's leading, followed by Manowiecki, who will probably tack fairly soon, and then Sean Herbert. So the 2 qualifiers who already went through, the Italian and the Pole, look like they're going to justify their seeding of 3rd and 4th. Bit of a drop of the foil for Sean Herbert. Oh, that was a bad tack for Sean Herbert. And that's going to make it even harder for the New Zealander to close the gap on the front 2.
But, you know, as you mentioned just before about the America's Cup, if you drop from the foil, it doesn't really matter the distance because it will catch you up quite quick. And
yeah,
it's really important to stay on foil.
Even if you sail massively extra distance, if you see a gust that takes you off to one side of the course and it's the difference between foiling or sinking, you sail the extra distance. Yeah, we've seen that so many times. And look how hard Alessandro Tomasi is working to make sure that he does stay on the foil, and also working to get downwind as efficiently as possible. Kamil Manowiecki from Poland also putting in some effort there as well with the green bib. But right now, these 2, I don't know if comfortable's the right word, but I mean, they're in position terms, in distance terms, over Sean Herbert and Gray Morris, it's looking fairly straightforward for Alessandro Tomasi. I'm sure he's not taking it for granted. And you can see by the work he's putting through his legs that the Italian certainly isn't taking anything for granted. Tomasi using the RRD brand, Manowiecki using the Ozone Wing brand. And the 2 from down under, Sean Herbert and Gray Morris, both using PPC wings.
Yeah, and I think all of them, they have all Chubanga. I think all 4 of them.
Right,
same
okay.
foil.
Certainly a very popular foil and well developed in the kite foiling world, and it's transferred across very nicely into the wing foil world. And that is Sean Herbert with the tip of his PPC wing just touching the water from time to time. Good battle going on here with Manowiecki on the right and Tomasi on the left. But remember, it doesn't really matter who's first and second. As long as you're in the top 2, you're going to progress through to the final. And I think this is a slightly misleading angle. Let's see what it looks like from there. Tomasi looks much more comfortable from this angle. So I'm not sure who we're...
I don't understand why.
Surely, has Sean Herbert moved ahead? Has he taken the lead?
I think it's Sean Herbert. It went all the way to the other side.
Wow. How did Sean Herbert manage that? That is phenomenal.
That's really strange.
Wow. Well, we didn't see that one coming, but now things are looking desperate for Manowiecki. Sean Herbert, he's stolen the thunder of the two Europeans, and now it looks like Australasia might have a representative in the final if things keep on going the way of Sean Herbert. But what an incredible leg the New Zealander has just sailed to pull into the lead.
They leave him alone, and they just with surprise pop up close to the mark.
And he has such an upright stance. He's so distinctive, how he sails the board and the wing. He looks like he's part of the structure.
Yeah.
What an incredible turnaround for Sean Herbert. He had that bad tack earlier in the race. I thought that was going to be his last opportunity. But look at this. He's absolutely won this semi-final by a country mile. Congratulations to Sean Herbert coming through from third place to steal the thunder of the European riders. And I bet he can hardly believe it himself. But
yes,
Sean Herbert now knows that the worst he can finish in this World Championship is fourth, and he has a really hot chance of a medal. Alessandro Tomasi from Italy also booking his way into the final, and I cannot imagine how disappointed Kamil Manowiecki will be at not getting into the final, because he's been absolutely on fire this year, leading the Kite 4 World Series. He's been the big challenger to Matis Gio, the World Cup world champion for the last couple of years, but no final for Manowiecki and no final for Gray Morris after the Australian failed to start anywhere close to start time, not able to get up on the foil. We'll go to a quick break. Back to you shortly.
And we're super happy that it's been so successful.
Just 50 seconds to the start of the women's semi-final. So how will it go this time? In the previous abandoned start, Karolina Kleszczynska from Poland was the only one that managed to cross the line anywhere close to time. Let's see how it goes this time. She's up against Emilia Costi from Greece, and the two qualifiers from lower in the order, Jetekut from Germany and Anaïs Desjardins. And there we see the green of Kleszczynska and the red of Emilia Costi. 20 seconds to go, and these two very much in a battle. Costi struggling to stay on the foil, and will she be able to get across the start? 10 seconds to go. Kleszczynska looking a lot more comfortable, and where is everybody else? 4 seconds to go. I'm not sure what's happening here.
No, me too.
The start, Emilia Costi, she's still on the foil. She's jibed or tacked round onto port. Clear start, and looks like we've only got two crossing the line. So Kleszczynska has made the better of the start, and Costi a little bit behind her. But what about Jetekut and Anaïs Desjardins?
On the right side.
So that's one of them on the right-hand side, not able, that looks like Desjardins on the right, not able to get up onto the foil. And this could be just a battle of, well, it really doesn't matter as things stand whether Costi or Kleszczynska wins. As long as these two manage to stay on the foil and get round the course, they're probably going to book their place in the final. So increasingly, Mirko, even for these world-class riders, we're seeing the difference in quality between those who can stay on the foil in these marginal conditions and those who can't.
It make a lot of difference, a lot, because as far as you are in foil, also if the wind is marginal, you are going upwind 14, 15 knots of speed, probably 16. So you can imagine you do a lot of distance in a couple of seconds. So again, is important for them not to fail in any tacks, any jibe, and try to stay in foil all the time. If you splash down the board, then you lose. And I really would like to jump on the previous Sean Herbert tactics on third, from third, go to the right side of the course, probably catch, or he saw it. And we were saying that he would be the guy that play with tactics, and he did it at the end from third to first.
The devil tempted him. He jumped on the devil's saddle, and the devil dragged him to the top of the race course.
That exactly what happened to him.
We're looking at Karolina Kluzinska with her very distinctive pink wing made by The Virus, a Polish brand. And Kluzinska won the start, and I thought Kosti was going to be struggling to play catch-up, but it looks like, yes, it is. Emilia Kosti safely round the top of the course in the lead with quite a significant lead over her Polish rival. So a really good recovery by Kosti and looking very solid and riding a nice gust there as well. It looks like there's a bit of breeze further out to sea, Mirko.
Yes, more than before. You can see some patch on the downwind. They try to keep the downwind and the breeze, and there is also some more sun, so all the clouds are away compared before.
So the ozone 6.5 working very nicely in these conditions for Emilia Kosti. Going through a jibe, staying on the foil, just pumping to make sure to just guarantee that she does stay on the foil. Gets around the bottom of the course. The Greek still with an enormous lead over the Polish rider. But the game here, Mirko, because this is a two-horse race and it's two that get to go through to the final. So no drama really for Kluzinska, provided that she can stay on the foil and finish this race.
Yeah, again, this is just about let's go around the course, cross the finish line. It's nothing to do more than that. But I'm really curious then to see the grand final with Maddalena and Vaina, with both of them, because I think having a race on this kind of sketchy condition, it might help a little bit to have one hit all around the course.
Yeah. I mean, Maddalena Spano, who's been the dominant force in the women's competition this week, but I wonder in these conditions whether this is going to make life more difficult for her.
Yeah, in this kind of condition, yes, and there is no second, so.
No, that's right. No, it's quite a high pressure kind of day to see out this World Championship. The first ever Formula Wing World Champion will be decided today in the men's and the women's category. It's a historic day, and it's coming up very soon because this is the last of the semi-finals, and then we are into our finals, where once we're in there, we'll explain the slightly different format. We've been going through one race knockout rounds, but it gets a little bit more complicated, but with good reason, as we will explain once we have seen these two cross the finish line of the women's semi-final. Emilia Kosti looking very steady, and I don't know if she's on her final approach. I think she might be. So Emilia Kosti might have done her last maneuver. All she's got to do is get safely round the bottom mark, turn left and head towards the finish, and the Greek will have booked her place in the final. And she only just managed to stay on the foil before the start. It was looking a little bit dicey for Emilia Kosti at start time, but there's the glimmer of a smile there. I'm sure that smile is going to broaden in a moment as the young Greek Emilia Kosti crosses the finish line and books her place in the four-rider final. What an amazing performance by her. And Karolina Kluzinska, somewhere close to 30 years old. That makes her old, would you believe it, in this world of wing foiling. because she's going to be up against 3 teenagers in the final. Well done to Karolina Klaszinska. She has stayed on that foil probably more than anybody else today. So there are our 2 finalists, and commiserations to Germany's Jette Koop and France's Anaïs Médargin, who just could never get on the foil and never got across the start line. So quick break, back to you shortly, and we will explain. So now we are into the grand final, and if you see the green dots on the right hand side of this image, you see there's 2 green dots against the name of Mathis Guillot from France and 1 green dot against Francesco Capuzzo. It is the first to 3 points, and Mathis Guillot is on match point. He's only got to win 1 race this afternoon and he will become world champion. That's Mathis Guillot in the yellow bib that you can see with a red and black wing, pretty much in the center of the screen. There he is.
Few seconds.
4 seconds to go. And here we are into the power zone. Sean Herbert going out towards the right-hand side, towards the Devil's Saddle, which did him so well. So he starts behind the other 3, but interesting tactics by Sean Herbert. And Mathis Guillot is in a sandwich between the 2 Italians, Francesco Capuzzo and Tomasi. Tomasi has already tacked away, so it's Tomasi and Herbert going out to the right-hand side.
Yeah. Look at the angle Capuzzo had. He was really close to the pin, keeping the left side. But Sean strongly believe with the race that he had before, go to the saddle, Devil's Saddle, and let's see if it's gonna work. He already tacked to go toward to Mark 1, and Ale Tomasi is just in front of him.
So it looks...
But his Guillot was not that far. He just stuck just beside him. Just really bad position.
Yeah.
For Ale Tomasi, he need to pump more because he will get all the air, bad air from Matisse. Good job with the leg. Good job with the legs.
Well, good news for French fans, bad news for Italian and New Zealand fans, because Mathis Guillot, he's already on match point. He's leading this race right now. If Guillot wins this race, he's going to see out the world title in just 1 heat. And
exactly. And yeah, the only thing is that Tomasi, if he stay on this position second, he will got the podium, but I think it's not what he's looking for. He want to be more higher on the podium.
Sure, of course he does. But yeah, right now it's looking strong for Mathis Guillot.
No, look at Sean.
You think maybe Sean has a better angle there on the right-hand side, so maybe, let's see. Sean Herbert looks like he might have moved up to second. He's got a better angle into the bottom mark. It's not good enough to overtake Guillot. This is Guillot going around towards the right-hand side, interestingly, towards the Devil's Saddle.
Yeah, he's reading the wind really, really well, Sean, I must say. It's really playing well. He's looking the wind around the short course, the small course of the final, pretty well, I would say that.
But this time, Sean's favourite, it's a big header, isn't it? It's a big right-hand turn. I wonder if once they tack, if it's going to be okay. But Oh, look at this. There's been a lead change here. Alessandro Tomasi has taken advantage of Matisquio falling into a wind hole, and this is what Alessandro Tomasi needs, and in fact the other two as well. Anybody but Matisquio to win this race. If Gio wins the race, the world's is done. As things stand, if Alessandro Tomasi can maintain the lead, then this keeps the game open for a little bit longer. And look at Sean Herbert also. It looks like Sean Herbert might have moved ahead of Gio as well.
Is upwind because Ale Tomasi, he will need for sure another tack, for sure.
Well, you just said how well Sean Herbert had read the wind, and you're absolutely spot on, Mirko, because look at this. The guy goes out to the left-hand side away from the devil's saddle. He forsakes the devil just when he needs to.
He take the path, he follow all the path from the devil's saddle.
That's incredible. This is the second time today that we've seen Sean Herbert do this. How does he do this? I mean, he's obviously a heads out of the boat kind of guy. He's looking around. He's seeing what breeze is available. There's not much breeze in supply today. It's in short supply. But whatever breeze there is, Sean Herbert is sniffing his way around this tricky racetrack. And it's New Zealand in the lead, and a very close battle between the next two, with Alessandro Tomasi at a marginal advantage over Matisquio, who was leading, but is now back in third. And Francesco Capuzzo, the Italian, way back in fourth, still trying to get in contention, but he will be mightily relieved, will Capuzzo and the other Italian, Tomasi, to see at least if anyone's going to be ahead of me, I'd rather it was Sean Herbert than Matisquio. And there goes another jibe, successfully completed by Sean Herbert. One more jibe to get around the bottom of the course. One more jibe in this race, and Sean Herbert will put his first point on the board, and he will keep open the Men's World Championship for a little bit longer. And it's a big advantage now. I mean,
yeah,
Sean Herbert has really stretched away from Tomasi. What an incredible performance by Sean Herbert, taking a race win.
He doesn't believe himself, I guess.
I don't know. You can't tell. He's a typically cool Kiwi. He's got to show his emotions yet.
Yeah.
And will he even want to drop off the foil? You just don't know when you're going to get back on the foil today. And there he sails towards the city, the ancient city of Cagliari in the background. And look at the gap. There's still to cross the finish line. What an amazing final run by Sean Herbert. Alessandro Tomasi, well, he lives to fight another day. He looks like he needs a bit of a breather. He looks tired. I mean, that was hard work. Matisquio in third, and Francesco Capuzzo crossing the line in fourth and almost closing the gap on Gio. So Gio really had an awful race, the second half of the race anyway. A little bit unlucky possibly, or just didn't read the wind well enough because he fell into that wind hole. We'll go to a quick break. Back to you soon.
And we're super happy that it's been so successful.
Well, this is really starting to hot up. It's a very difficult final day here in Cagliari. Staying on the foil is priority number one. Looking for the best breeze on a tricky race course is priority number two. And Sean Herbert is handing out a masterclass here in Europe to all the Europeans. He's the only non-European in the game out of all our finalists. But Sean Herbert from New Zealand is sniffing his way around this Italian racetrack better than some of the locals. 2 minutes to go to the start of the first women's final, and we're looking at Maddalena Spanu in picture. She is the Italian teenager, the 18-year-old on match point. She's got 2 green points on her score already. She only needs 1 more. France's 15-year-old Vaina Pico is on 1 point, and then our 2 qualifiers that we saw earlier, Emilia Costi from Greece and Karolina Kleszczynska, they need to win 3 races today to get ahead of the 2 pre-qualified finalists. 1 minute 35 to go. If you were Maddalena Spanu's coach, Mirko, what are you going to tell her? What's the best way up this windward leg?
Keep 10 eyes all over the course and follow for the wind. Is the only thing that you can say. With this kind of condition, you need to follow the wind.
And I don't know how good these guys are, these girls are at keeping their eyes out of the boat, as we say in conventional sailing. I know that where I'm at with my wing foiling, I would not have a moment to be able to look around. I need to fully concentrate on what I'm doing. And I don't know if there is a difference here at this level. Do you think, Mirko, that there are some who are better than others at looking around at what the wind is doing?
Yeah, absolutely. All of them, I mean, if they are used to sail and different class, in high performance class and foiling class, they know that watching far away from where you are and keep really an eye on right, left, in front, in top, looking everything that might spy the wind or what's going to happen after is obvious a win compared not to do it. So it's really important. I guess that all the girls, they were looking seriously all the men races.
4 seconds to go.
Yeah, so let's see. Maddalena, she doesn't get in time.
Oh, no way! She arrived too early.
Yeah, she arrived too early to the orange mark.
Oh,
yeah, I saw her.
Time on distance mistake by our world champion in waiting.
It's good to go all the way to the right. She did another tack on this side. Oh.
Well, she doesn't like the devil's saddle. She's heard what you said about the devil's saddle, Mirko.
Yeah.
So that's going to make life interesting. This looks like it's going to be another world championship that's going to need more than 1 race to work out what's going to happen. We got Costi going out to the right. We've got just tacked Vaina Pico on the right-hand side with the red wing, and Maddalena Spanu on the left, still sailing out to sea, but will probably jibe or tack rather fairly soon. Karolina Kleszczynska yet to cross the start line. We saw the Polish rider be the only one to cross the start line in that abandoned semi-final start earlier, but this time Kleszczynska has not managed to get up on the foil. So we've got a bit like it with the women, we've got a bit of a 3-horse race here. So a bit like with the men. There are only 3 riders in this right now. Maddalena Spanu at the bottom of our screen, coming in from the left-hand side. And I can tell you that I think Karolina Kleszczynska has now crossed the start line, but she's a long way back with a lot of catching up to do. But I think I see a problem with Vaina Pico on the right-hand side. I think this has now become a 2-horse race.
Yes, I don't see anymore. So Maddalena, she went all the way to the other side. And Emilia Costi in front. She just crossed in front of Maddalena Spanu.
Right, so Emilia Costi, there's Kleszczynska struggling.
Yeah.
And there is Vaina Pico, who has really got stuck out, a bit like what happened to Matis Kio, but even worse. So going into that corner, you warned of the dangers of going into that corner. Somehow Sean Herbert has found the right opportunity to make a pact with the devil, and he's made it work on that side of the race course. But for everybody else, it just seems to be a disaster zone.
Yes, exactly. It works only for him.
Yeah.
It was only for him.
Only for the New Zealander.
Yeah.
So Emilia Costi, well, she at the moment is in the box seat. She needs to stay ahead of Spanu. If Spanu gets ahead, that's the world title done in 1 for Maddalena Spanu. So at all costs, Costi needs to stay in the lead. She's got a 200-meter advantage on Spanu, but we know that that can disappear in the blink of an eye in these kind of conditions. Which side of the course do you think she's going to choose, Mirko?
She will go to the left. I mean,
surely.
To the right. Yeah, she will.
But no, I'm really surprised to see her do this. Surely she's going to tack soon, isn't she? You don't want to go too far this way. Don't go too far that way. That's the danger side.
Yeah, not too far.
But maybe she sees a gust that's just arrived. But Kosti is sailing towards the danger zone where Karolina Klajinska is still struggling to get on her foil, while Madalena Spanu... Oh, no way. So, is there an abandonment or something?
No, there isn't.
So, she is not happy. I'm not quite clear. She looks like she's given up. She crashed down, but why did she not carry on? She doesn't look like she's even trying. So Emilia Costi, is she going to be the only finisher?
But how she went all the way to the other side? The wind played pretty strange. She come back from the finish line.
Has there been a massive shift or something?
If you look on the tracking, I was looking. What's happened to the tracking all the way to the beach?
So a massive right-hand shift.
Yeah, it seemed.
This is getting very confusing. But I think
we have to we can't really understand from the tracking now, and
no,
it seems that there is some mess on it.
I'm not sure. I mean, Costi might be the only one still in play now. Whether this will
looking on the speed is the only one that is not with the zero in front. So
yeah. So will Costi be able to stay on the foil? We think she's the only one on the foil. So this doesn't mean that she's going to win the world title, because Emilia Costi, that's only the first of 3 points that she would need to take today. But look at this disaster for our yellow and blue bib wearers. Madalena Spanu and Vaina Pico. And look at the contrast. Mirko, this is such a cruel sport. You're either flying or you're floating. There's nothing in between, is there?
No, or you're flying or there is no way. Nothing. And you can see the difference. It seems that they are really far away between all of them. She's foiling. Now she will need a tack.
And it looks like she has a gust to do the tack as well.
She has the gust, exactly. And now on the right side, on that side, it seems that there is more wind. Looking from the camera,
you just want to do one jibe, wouldn't you? Just take it all the way to the corner, limit yourself to just one more maneuver, and then if she can execute that jibe, she should be able to finish this race and be the only one to cross the finish line of the opening race in the women's final of the Formula Wing World Championships. Just keep on concentrating, Emilia Costi. Not long to go now. Putting in the occasional pump through the legs just to guarantee that she stays on the foil.
For her, it will be really important because she will score a match point.
Absolutely. Currently, she has no points on the board. This puts her in the game. And look at Madalena Spanu, still unable to get going. Emilia Costi safely around the last turning mark. And the fast reach towards the finish. And Emilia Costi takes another race win on a really difficult day, and her confidence must be growing by the minute, because these conditions that seem to be confounding everyone, they seem to be working for Emilia Costi in the women's competition and for Sean Herbert in the men. We'll go to a quick break. Back to you shortly. Sela Diablo.
So next one is gonna be the final 2 men.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, they are pumping. Capuzzo is already foiling. He tried to stay on foiling already.
You're not going to take any risks, are you?
No. And we saw that in the lower part of the course there is really almost no wind.
The only one of the three in this men's final second round that I can see is Alessandro Tomasi. So Tomasi yet to get on the foil. It looks like the yellow bib of Matis Guillot just come off the foil. So Guillot's struggling to stay on the foil. It's absolutely critical to try and stay on the foil, but it's proving really, really difficult, even for the best in the world today. And that is Alessandro Tomasi, who's up and flying, and now we see Guillot. So the yellow and blue bibs are flying okay.
And Sean.
And Sean Herbert. So that's three of them. And we haven't seen Francesco Capuzzo, but I think he's doing okay.
We saw him on the left side.
Okay. So these are nervous moments. I bet they can't wait to get started. I'm not sure what, there we are, 2 minutes 15 to the start. And these are critical times. There's Francesco Capuzzo, fourth in the first round. And, SP against standard penalty for Matis Guillot. Any speculation as to what that might be?
Well, doesn't really matter so far at this stage. Is the important thing is the bullet. I mean, is the match point that scored Sean Herbert, which take him now on second place.
So Sean Herbert up into silver medal position at the moment, but can he take it forwards? Sean Herbert doesn't seem to be intimidated by these really difficult conditions.
No, absolutely not. I think everyone else is pretty scared about him, because if he's gonna score another first, then it will get interesting.
Yes.
It's not easy for Matis Guillot to close the gap. And after really a good start, because he was leading the.
Will anyone dare to go into that right-hand corner? Because it looks so dangerous, but Sean Herbert seems to sense when it's the right place to go into the right-hand corner near that danger point caused by Sela Diablo, the Devil's Saddle, the huge promontory on the right-hand side. It's just out of picture. It's on the left-hand side of our picture now, the Sela Diablo. Now, how are we looking? I think we've still got 4 on the foil. And we've got 20 seconds to go. There's Alessandro Tomasi. He's looking comfortable enough on the foil. And now it's a time on distance judgment. You don't want to get there too soon. That was the problem for Maddalena Spano in the previous start. There's Sean Herbert, 10 seconds to go. Sean Herbert cruising in on starboard, and it looks like Matis Guillot and Alessandro Tomasi are coming in on port. And it's a clear start, and Sean Herbert wins the start. Matis Guillot, not quite managing to clear the committee boat, so he's having to go out to the right-hand side. And Francesco Capuzzo still to cross the line. He's about to cross the line now, so that is an awful start for Capuzzo, who does not seem to have the measure of the conditions today. There's Sean Herbert just about to sail into a gust, and a bit of a header as well, which for his position, that's a good place to be, Mirko.
Yeah, but it's the first time that we see him.
Maybe not so good.
Where Capuzzo was at the previous race, which he didn't pay off at all. I'm curious to see if he can. No, do you see? Look at the angle.
Yeah, I mean, he just fell out of the breeze, didn't he? And
yeah.
The wind whisperer is not quite managing to whisper his way to the windward mark. Oh no! But now look at
the gas.
Tomasi.
Yeah,
Tomasi's in trouble now.
Yeah, Tomasi, he tack without the wind. That's a really big mistake. If you don't have the puff and the power on the wing, then you change all the angle.
Tomasi certainly in trouble. He tacks, and look how far back. I mean, just in the space of no time at all, he's now almost 200 meters back. And unfortunately for the others, Matisquio, he's back in the box seat. And just to remind you, Matisquio only needs to win a race today, and he will become the world champion, the first ever Formula Wing world champion. But we've seen Matisquio leading the previous race, and it didn't work out for him. And Matisquio, well, he's a cool customer, but he knows how quickly this lead can disappear.
Yes, exactly. And with Sean, that proved him that he was faster than him, I think he's pretty scared. This is why he just jibes straight forward and try to stay as close as he can to him. He doesn't let him go this time.
No, he's going to want to stick with him. But as we see, even when you go the same way, you can get some breeze or lose the breeze, even when you're almost next to somebody. But right now, Sean, we need a Sean Herbert special from the New Zealander, because it looks like Matisquio is doing enough to maintain a healthy lead. And he's got a better angle down to the bottom of the course than Sean Herbert. So look at Sean Herbert on the right now. I mean, Sean Herbert has still got, he's still going to get down there. Sean Herbert jibes now, but how much has the New Zealander lost to Matisquio? And he's going to be overtaken by Alessandro Tomasi. Yeah. And Sean Herbert is not being stupid. It's just, he didn't have the wind.
Because no, it seems that the wind has really different angle. If you get the wrong gust, you just go backward. It's like a game. You'll be bouncing back. Look at the angle where he goes.
Wow. I mean, he's almost sailing back to shore. And that's Sean Herbert making the best of a bad hand. And you can see above the picture, that is Cella Diavolo, what we've been talking about, having such a big effect on this race course today. And Sean Herbert's just, well, he's had to sail between the coach boats. He's so way off what you would normally expect to be the, oh, no, he can't even. Oh, race abandoned.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, makes sense. Makes sense.
Oof, well, that's a sigh of relief.
It was like
for the three riders who aren't Matisquio.
If you look, I put the.
Yeah, if you're following the tracking on Metasail, it's making some very pretty pictures, but it's got nothing to do with conventional sailboat racing. The angles are all over the place. We will go to a quick break. Back to you soon.
And we're super happy that it's been so successful.
So there's the dreaded blue and white flag, the flag of abandonment, and Matisquio must be cursing that race wasn't seen out, because he was sailing an absolutely fantastic race. The other three were in all kinds of trouble, and Matisquio was just probably, 3 minutes away from winning the world title when the race was abandoned. But he's got to get his head back into the game. We saw Bastien Escoffier remonstrating with the committee boat earlier, another Frenchman who was knocked out of the competition earlier when we had to scrub off the quarterfinal in the men. Matisquio, he won't be happy, but he's got to get his head straight. Okay, he let that one get away, but at least he got the better of Sean Herbert. At least he proved that it's not only the New Zealander that can read these really tricky conditions, because Sean Herbert this time was caught out by that really, really patchy breeze and was left very few cards to deal with at the end of that competition before it was abandoned.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite a long break. We see all the mark layer working hard. They will move the course for sure.
Well, in that case, earlier in the day, we played that video about the problem of different athlete sizes. So that is the problem. Well, we asked Oscar Leclerc, one of the top French riders, to help us come up with a solution. So here's Oscar's take on what you can do with the equipment to try and level up the game.
We already fast and playful. That means we can race in reduced area, closer to the public and being fast for a big show. It can be spectacular to watch, easy to understand, versatile and attractive. It works on any kind of condition and allows for many racing formats and create emotions with tense battle. To protect this unique character, we need to set clear rules now. In sailing, it's already clear. Bigger is your sail, faster you go. But only tall and heavy rider can handle oversized wing. If we allow that, we lose the athletic dimension of the sport and the inclusivity. We need to put a limit on wing size, and setting this limit will keep the sport fair and focused on physical performance, not body size. I am convinced we can design a dedicated wing foil, unique and efficient in all conditions. This choice of wing size and foil size has to be done with taking in consideration the average body type of each gender. So we need to take the right decision now to give to sailing a new era with a wing foil and still avoiding the same mistake we did with IQ foil and kite foiling.
So a story to be continued, because this is still extremely early in the history of Formula Wing. It's really only just been begun. We're just waiting to see. Just waiting to see on the delay, but it looks like this could be a longish one. So I'm gonna just give you a little preview of the next event coming up in the Wing 4 racing calendar. It's taking place far out in the Atlantic Ocean, in the beautiful islands of the Azores, and it's going to be the Formula Wing Youth and Masters for the under 21s and for the over 35. So here's a little preview of that event coming up in a few weeks' time. Yeah, so the wind is in short supply right now. Mirko, you know this place well. You live here. You go winging most days. You can, if anyone can pick up a telephone and ask the wind gods to deliver some more wind to get us across the finish line, it's you.
Yeah, honestly, it's getting difficult because, as we said a couple of hours ago, this west-southeast wind, when it comes, it blows, and in few minutes, it disappears. It's really the wrong direction. It's not a suitable direction here on the bay. So most probably they will try to move or shift the course a little bit outside or to the east side. But there is really a remote opportunity to have some more wind back for racing. Obviously, we all keep fingers crossed that we got some present from the wind here in Cagliari, and probably the Sella del Diavolo help a little bit more for some puff and to help not only Sean Albert but everyone else also to go and foil all around the course, foiling all around the course. But the conditions are not nice, honestly. knowing this place. But
No, we've had such amazing conditions earlier on in the week. I think on day 3 it was gusting over 22 knots and big swell, big waves rolling in from the south. It looked absolutely spectacular. We've seen really a bit of everything this week, which speaks well for those riders that find themselves at the top of the pile, because you have to be good in everything to succeed in a week like this. And currently, wearing the yellow bibs, in the men it's Mathis Guillot from France, and in the women Maddalena Spanu from Italy, who have been two of the hottest riders in the last few years. Riders like Sean Herbert are really interesting. We've only seen him on the circuit for the first time this year, and we've seen the kind of threat that the young New Zealander can pose. But now we just have to see if there's any opportunity for the others just to take the fight to our current yellow bib wearers. The other question that will be running through the mind of these riders is some will want this to become the next Olympic discipline, and others will be quite happy for it to stay where it is as non-Olympic. Mirko, have you got a point of view on that?
I think it's really a young sport, honestly, and I was really lucky to start enjoy the wing foiling on 2019, really at the beginning. And obviously I fall in love of the wing foiling after do many things in foiling. So that one, I mean, wing foiling is super easy, nice. You can get out whatever place you are, and you can use it in so many different conditions. So I strongly believe on the future of wing foiling, and I strongly believe that on the develop of the wing foil racing particularly. And said that, I believe that it might be an opportunity to become Olympic, because it will be one of the sport like laser, where a lot of people will do it. It's gonna be all around the world, and it's gonna be a massive recreational sport, and probably it might become the board sport more known in a couple of years, probably 5 years. So.
Well, yeah, it seems to be really taking off at the recreational level, and this is the wing foil racing circuit is really the big opportunity to bring its attention to the sport, to the rest of the world, to the people that aren't even aware of it, because there's people in my day-to-day life still don't know what wing foiling is, and that's fair enough, because probably 4 years ago I didn't know what it was either. You know, it's still so young.
Exactly. This is why I was saying I believe that there is a real Olympic opportunity on the future. Again, it's really a young sport. We are not talking about tomorrow. I mean, when you aim and you start working to have a discipline that become Olympics, I mean, probably will not take long like the kite, because for whatever and different reason, kite take quite a long time and effort to become Olympic. But wing foiling probably has all the needs to become Olympic. So let's see.
There is the view from the race committee boat. It's not looking terribly encouraging right now. On that Olympic subject, one of the places that the Wing Foil Racing World Cup goes to each year is St. Moritz, which has an Olympic connection, and we've got a little video to show you about that connection.
My name's Chris Rashley. I work for America One Racing, coaching Formula Kite. In the 2024 Olympics, I had the privilege of coaching Daniela Moroz. I'm here in St. Moritz at the home of the Winter Olympic Games. Such a beautiful venue. Every Olympic venue is special. You know, you walk around the town or the city that has hosted Olympics, and there's statues, there's plaques, there's the remains or even the continuation of the Olympic facilities that were created for the Games. And there's the names of people who won the medals here at the Olympics, and the beautiful photos and memories of that. So every time you go to a city which has held an Olympics, it's got some fantastic history behind it. Wing foiling is the best pathway to other foiling classes that are in the Olympics right now, whether it be the IQ, the Formula Kite, or the NACRA 17. It's got such a wide range of possibilities in terms of weights and sizes and ages. If wing foiling became an Olympic class, we'd have to standardise the equipment. At the moment, there's a massive amount of innovation and technology and development that's constantly happening. At the current event we have now, you're permitted to use prototypes or any equipment, and that's fantastic because early stages in an Olympic class, or the possibility of having an Olympic class, is you want to make that sport as good as possible and as fast and as fun as possible. When you walk around the town of St. Moritz, it's absolutely inspiring. You've so much history here when it comes to the Winter Olympics, and it's the home of bobsleigh, and you can see from the mountains in the background that it would be awesome fun to hurl yourself down a mountain on ice. The Olympics, in my opinion, is the absolute pinnacle of sporting competition. A lot of athletes dream of going to the Olympic Games, and it's such an honour to represent your country. I honestly think that the Olympics brings out the best in everyone, the best in the town or the city that hosts the Olympics, and it's such a joyous occasion. It's a celebration of sport and a celebration of the local area.
Chris Rashley in St. Moritz. So we get to such a wide range of venues on the wing foil racing circuit, some incredible venues around the world, and the Azores, as I mentioned earlier, that's one of the ones coming up next, and then the Wing Foil Racing World Cup concludes in the beautiful sandy oasis of Jericoacoara in the north of Brazil. Absolutely stunning location, and it's a real mecca for all kinds of water sport, for windsurfing, kiteboarding, and increasingly wing foiling as well. And contrary to popular belief that people think that Brazil is a dangerous place, there are bits of Brazil that certainly are dangerous, like the big cities, Fortaleza, Rio, and Sao Paulo. It's hard to argue with that, but I've been to northern Brazil a number of times now, and I can tell you it feels as safe as being in Europe. So if you've ever had half a mind to go to Brazil, look a little bit closer, because it's got more to offer than you might think. There's Amelia Costi, chilling, relaxing. And as things stand, if there is no more racing, what she's achieved today will have taken her into second place. She would get the silver medal behind Madalena Spanu. And that would be a pretty decent medal to come away with. But of course, Amelia Costi, like any competitor, would rather see it out on the water. And she really looks like she's pretty comfortable in these conditions compared with some of the other riders. So Mirko, where do you think the equipment is going next? The double skin wing has been a big development over the last year or so. Just 2 years ago, I don't think I even saw one double profile wing. It was all single skin. Yeah. So the game continues to move on very quickly. Interesting, the boards seem to have got bigger. People seem to, however much you weigh, if you weigh 80 kilos, you seem to have something like an 80-litre board.
More.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. Why are people going for bigger boards again?
Yeah, the bigger board is a needs when you have to pump to start foiling, because the volume that you put under the water is the same push that you get from the water to float again, and is an help generated by the volume of the board. This is why in the front of the board there is massive volume on the bow, on the nose, that help you to pump, and and a lot of rider, let's say, most of them, they have volume between 85, really the lighter one, they have 85 liter. Example, Capuzzo or the 100 kilo guys, they have 110 liters as well as a board. So more long and narrow, but really with a big profile. Really, how you say?
Sort of. What's the word? Freeboard. In boat terms, we call it freeboard, but it's high. It's got height.
Yeah, so the volume is more vertical.
Right.
So narrow and vertical, just to have less surface, but more volume under the water when you pump and they come up and help you to start foiling, to get the pressure of the foil. And again, the development of the wing, that they are more vertical. This is why the foil the mast getting longer. So now there is no 105 or 110 centimeter shorter mast. Everyone, you see the Sean position, super vertical, little bit some angle upwind, and the wing super close to the board to close the gap between the board and the water.
That's like with the America's Cup boats having no gap between the sails and the boat. You've got this really
really aerodynamic, work a lot on aerodynamic. And this is why obviously there is no more tiny board. I don't know, you remember 3 years ago there were some crazy guys,
35 liters?
liter, exactly, completely sinking until the chest. And I still don't understand how they get foiling on that at that moment, pumping with the water like this. It's insane. But now there is no more small board, and they work a lot on the kick, on the shape of the board, and to pump with the foil. And the double skin, again, the double skin and the double surface wing with the 50% or 70%. Yeah, I think is something that it will be developed pretty soon. So I think we will get to a moment where we're gonna have both.
And this is why the Formula Wing concept will keep on developing. What we have this week will probably not what we have the next event, perhaps, because we're learning all the time. And it's far too soon to lock anything into a one design. Maybe that will never happen. There's no absolute right answer here, is there? But the Formula Wing is the best compromise between open development of being able to spend whatever you want on as much equipment as you like on one design, where you're maybe sort of boxing yourself into a corner with too much limitation on equipment.
No, absolutely. I think we can start from the beginning. The sport is so young that if you block the development now and you go for a one design, in 4 years time, it's Jurassic. Doesn't work, and then it make the people probably unhappy. Also, if you can have the race with all the same equipment, but then why do racing with the same equipment, which is old or not performing well, probably not safe like the future one, and not maybe also looks cool. Like probably there will be the next generation of foiling. Again, it's really young. I really support to have a development moment still for another 3-4 years. Because it will change a lot. I'm sure that it will change a lot.
Well, I'm sorry that we can't bring you the racing as we wait for things to get going. We're going to look at Morocco, which was one of the venues earlier in the season. That was a really interesting first-time visit to Dakhla and Morocco. Let's see how that played out.
A new season, new equipment, new faces, and a new venue as the Wingfoil World Cup Series arrives in Africa for the first time. Dakhla, Morocco, where the desert meets the Atlantic Ocean, and the strong, consistent breeze will power these boards up to 70 kilometers per hour. That's why this area has long been a destination for water sports fans. Hello from me, Alec Wilkinson, in Dakhla, where 43 athletes from 14 countries make up the field. 10 women and 33 men battling it out for world ranking points and a share of the €15,000 prize pot. 4 local athletes are flying the flag for Morocco and gaining some top-class experience and exposure. But the focus going into the event was on 3-time champion Mathis Guillot of France, who's chasing his 4th successive title in a row.
We are seeing a lot of new faces here on the tour, a lot of youngsters coming also, so that is a great thing for the sport. We always see almost the same faces in the top 10, and I'm looking forward to racing here in Dakhla to be able to say who worked the hardest during the winter, who worked also a lot on the equipment to improve it. And I think that it's a little hard to say right now. I can estimate who will be on the top 5. I think we will have Francesco, who is on fire here in Dakhla. He was really fast on the trainings we have made together. There is also Camille, who has been pushing a lot in the end of last season. And obviously, all my French teammates with whom I was racing and training a lot during this winter.
With last year's champion Nia Suardiaz of Spain missing from this event, the favourite in the women's fleet is Italy's 18-year-old prodigy Maddalena Spanu, who won silver last year.
In this season, I am looking most to Spanish girl Nia Suardiaz. She's not competing right now in this race, but she's very strong, very fast. And also the other girls are improving and are very good. So let's see what's happening in this season.
The event got underway with a 14-kilometre long-distance race in light conditions, with men and women competing on the same course. There was plenty of drama before it even started, when Romain Guillot fell during warm-up. Despite the mishap, Romain finished 11th in the fleet of 30 riders. Kamil Manofiecki came out of the blocks fighting. The Pole, who last season just missed out to Guillot for the series title, won the race ahead of France's Julien Ratotti. Maddalena Spanu set the tone for the rest of the event with a dominant victory in the women's race. It was an ominous warning to her challengers. Behind her, a dramatic fight was unfolding for second place. Greek youngster Emilia Costi, sitting second, collided with a mark and saw Spain's Izet Segura speed past her to claim second place. There are plenty of new faces on the circuit this season, like France's Anaïs May Desjardins, who's made the switch from a successful career in kite foiling.
I've chosen wing foil because it looks so much fun and it's really similar to kiting. So we basically use the same foils, so I don't really need to learn anything else about the board. I would just need to learn how to use the wing.
After a break due to light winds, racing returned on day 3 with 8 short-track races in good breeze, averaging 22 knots. The men were split into 2 fleets. Defending champion Mathis Guillot won the day's first race and went on to dominate his fleet with 8 wins from 8 races to move top of the overall standings. Kamil Manofiecki also showed great form, winning 4 races and totalling 8 podium places. The Pole's strong performance put him second overall, just ahead of Italy's Francesco Capuzzo. In the women's races, Spanu was frighteningly efficient, dispatching her opponents mercilessly. She led the first of the short-track races from the start and finished way ahead of the chasing pack, although Greece's Emilia Costi and Anaïs May Desjardins were in a constant battle for second place. There were fantastic conditions for a crucial 4th day of action to decide the top 9 male riders who would qualify for the medal series. The man under most pressure was Julien Ratotti of France. Sitting in that crucial 9th place overall meant a bad day would see him miss the cut. It was a frustrating morning session for Mathis Guillot, who kept being beaten into second by his closest rivals. Francesco Capuzzo beat him twice, with a couple of great overtaking manoeuvres. This one really got the Italians' fans going. Impressive speed from the Sicilian. Banu continued to dominate the women's competition. Behind her, second and third place also looked strong, with Amelia Costa of Greece looking comfortable ahead of Anaïs May Desjardins in third. As for Ratotti, he just managed to hang on to finish the day 9th overall and make the cut to the men's medal series. Definitely the most relieved man in the fleet.
The wing foil classes are thrilled to have been awarded clean class state.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're back and we are into a start sequence. This is a rerun of men's final 2. We've got 1 minute 30 to go, and Matis Gio, well, he was the man that was leading the race when it was abandoned. Let's see if that gives him some kind of karma for this race, because he was sailing really well in very tricky marginal conditions. Matis Gio is the man with the yellow bib, and he's on match point. He only needs to win 1 race and he will see out the competition. And we've only got 20 minutes left before we have to close the competition. It's last possible start at local time, 5 o'clock. So time is in short supply right now. We really hope this race can get away, and let's see who can take the fight to Matis Gio. It's very tense indeed, Mirko.
Yeah. It's gonna be very intense. Let's see if they update. 30 seconds to go. It seems that they go to the left side. They will start probably on port.
We've got everybody on their foils. Francesco Capuzzo, Alessandro Tomasi and Sean Herbert. And there we see Matis Gio with 15 seconds to go. Maneuver round just behind Tomasi. Tomasi cruising quite comfortably. Gio really struggling to get consistently on the foil, but he's just managed it. We've got 2 ports, 2 starboards, but have they got...
Oh.
Tomasi just manages to get round the front of the committee boat. So 2 going left, 2 going right. This is Sean Herbert on the left and Capuzzo on the right, going out to sea, out to the left-hand side. Now, how dramatically different is this... has there been a big change in wind direction?
Yeah.
So this is huge change in wind direction. So this is...
Yeah, completely. It's almost it's a Mistral. It switch straight from offshore now. This is why they change all they had to change all the course.
Right. So
it was the only one opportunity to keep the finger crossed and to have the wind from the other side.
Wow. Okay, so people are going to have to learn this race course very quickly. It looks like there's a little bit more breeze, looking at the darkness of the water, a little bit more breeze on the right-hand side for the other 2 that we're not looking at. But let's see how it plays out, because here is the big first cross, and it looks pretty close between one side and the other. And
Capuzzo is first.
Yes, Capuzzo just round ahead of Matis Gio. Very, very close. No, it's Tomasi in first. Gio, I'm pretty sure it's Tomasi who's leading.
No, Tomasi is on third. Is that one Tomasi? Him is Capuzzo with the pink. Yeah, Capuzzo.
That's Capuzzo.
Yeah. Capuzzo is on pink, and Matis Gio the red wing.
Yes,
and
yeah,
the other
you're right.
white and black with the black stripe is Ale Tomasi.
It looks like Gio has just done enough to get into the lead, and a really good rounding by Gio. So Gio back into the lead again, and if Gio wins this race, he wins the World Championship. So the Italians and the New Zealander need to get back past Gio. It's Francesco Capuzzo on the far right, Gio in the middle. That's who we're looking at there. Tomasi following Gio, following in his wake, and Sean Herbert trying something different on the far side of the course.
Yeah. I'm always scared when Sean it goes to the other side.
Yeah, he's very good at sniffing out the breeze, but maybe this time he's just gone to the other side because he was last, and he might as well try something different. So I don't know if he really believes it's going to work, but let's see. The red wing of Gio just staying ahead of Francesco Capuzzo with the white.
Oh, him is Ale Tomasi.
Sorry, Ale Tomasi.
Yeah, with the black stripe is Ale Tomasi.
But this is looking interesting. I wonder if they have gone a little bit too far to the right. I wonder if the other two have managed to.
Where is Sean?
Oh my
Sean
God!
and Capuzzo.
This is incredible. Has Sean Herbert done it again?
Sean is pumping. He is able to round the mark. So Capuzzo first, Sean second, Matisse Gio third, and Ale Tomasi fourth. But they're really close each other. Everything can happen.
So Gio driving out in third place. How things have changed so quickly. And finally, we're talking about Francesco Capuzzo leading a race. He's been struggling in the earlier phases of today. But at the moment, Francesco Capuzzo, the big Italian, is leading this race down towards the bottom of the course. It's really gusty. And it's a complete turnaround in wind direction. So such a different challenge. And Capuzzo seems to be rising to the occasion.
Oof, keep the game open.
He certainly does. So Capuzzo's going to take the race win. Sean Herbert is going to cross the line in second. Tomasi's going to be third. Gio possibly last. What an incredible turnaround. Yet again, Gio is confounded. It was a race that he was winning. And he's going to think about that race that was abandoned, thinking, this is just so unfair. When am I going to get a break? But, so we will go to a break. We'll be back to you soon. One minute 30 to women's final two. So Emilia Costi, she managed to score a race win earlier. She's looking comfortable. That's who we're looking at there with the red bib. So Costi was looking very good in the marginal foiling conditions, but the breeze is up now. The Mistral has kicked in. It's blowing offshore, off the city of Cagliari, and Maddalena Spanu remains on match point. Will the Italian 18-year-old be able to win the next race? If the yellow bib wins the next race, that's the women's world title done and dusted. But Vaina Picot from France, Emilia Costi from Greece, and Karolina Klajinska will be looking to see what they can do to take a race win away from Maddalena Spanu. We've got 50 seconds to go. And here is the final approach. On the right-hand side, all on her own, Karolina Klajinska. Then the yellow bib, most right hand of the three on the left. That's Maddalena Spanu on match point. On the far left, it's Emilia Costi. And in the middle of those two, well, in the blue, it's Vaina Picot. Maddalena Spanu coming a little bit later than the others, but she's come a little bit early previously. She had to jibe round because she started a bit too soon. Who's got their time on distance judgment down this time? It looks like Emilia Costi has judged this quite well. And it's really tight start at the top end, but it's a good start for Karolina Klajinska with the pink foil, and Maddalena Spanu, I was going to say, has got herself out of trouble, but maybe not.
No, she started just windward to Vanya, which we know she has a really great angle and good speed and upwind. It's not really the big opportunity for her. It's a big opportunity for Vanya, and then Maddalena just have to tack and go to the other side.
Right, so let's see how that works out. We've seen people do well from both sides of the race course so far. I think it's about where the gust and where the shift is.
Yeah, we saw that Sean and Capuzzo were on the left side, and they show up first and second on the rounding mark.
Yeah, they certainly made a big gain from going left on that last beat of the race we saw just now for the men. Madalena Spanu tacks on the far side, and I think Spanu's, well, let's see when she's up to speed. Let's see how it works out, but I think she might struggle here. I think Emilia Costi looking fairly good. Vina Picot also looking, it's hard to tell from this angle, but I think, well, it's still very close actually. Look at it, the fours.
All four, they will almost round the market. Oh, poof.
But
pretty. Something will happen with the jury probably. Let's see.
Possibly, yeah, that's a good point, Mirko. Very tight between these three, which is all incident under review. Okay, there we see it. Well predicted, Mirko. Jibing out is Emilia Costi. And just going into the jibe together, it's Kluzhinska following Madalena Spanu. And meanwhile, at the front with the distinctive red wing, Vina Picot, the 15-year-old from France, who is leading this race. And she's already got 1 point on her score. If she were to win this race, she would draw level with Madalena Spanu, and she would also move to match point. The question is, will Vina Picot be able to see it out? There's so many gusts and shifts on this race course. It's very difficult to defend a lead on this kind of race course, which is what we love to see. There's plenty of unpredictability in this Mistral breeze blowing off the city of Cagliari. It's Picot leading out this side of the course, with Emilia Costi and Karolina Kluzhinska following, and Madalena Spanu yet again going off on her own out in the opposite direction, but this time she's the one going left and it's the other three going right, so it's a switch around from the previous upwind leg.
Yeah, but it seems that Vina, she's really good with a really good angle and good speed looking on the tracking.
And she's not big, is she? She can't weigh very much, but she's sailing phenomenally well.
Yeah, in this kind of condition we saw on the previous day, that's perfect for her.
Well, we've just heard there's a penalty on Emilia. So Emilia Costi has been given a penalty from that Windward Mark incident. So there's something else to factor in here. Kluzhinska on the left of that last picture. Now we see the cross as Madalena Spanu pulled into the lead. She was forced to go left. I'm not sure she wanted to, but either way, she went the opposite way. And now Madalena Spanu, who has overtaken her rivals, she has a very significant lead. And suddenly it looks like Spanu has the world title within her grasp again.
And Carolina with second. She's running for the silver in this position.
All right, okay. So there's still a lot to play for, but most importantly of all, Madalena Spanu, she only just jibes across the front of them, so that wasn't a great angle that Madalena was able to come back on. So
she doesn't have the bullet. No, Carolina, she doesn't have the bullet. It's Emilia, she had the bullet previous, the match point. So it's between Emilia Costi and Vina Picot. Which are the two last?
So we'll keep an eye on that, but at the moment, the biggest story of this race is that Madalena Spanu,
the last beat.
Here we go, towards the finish. Madalena Spanu is making history. The 18-year-old from Sardinia wins on home waters. Look what it means to her. The first ever Formula Wing world champion. And she has carved her place in wingfoil racing history. What an incredible performance by the rider who has been so dominant this season. And now, after such a tricky day, has managed to come through smiling. She takes the world title. Thank you very much. That's what you want to do here on home waters. You, as a Sardinian, Mirko, must be quietly delighted as well.
I'm really happy because she was so suffering today looking at the light wing, and then we saw when she dropped from the foil almost crying and give it up. And you can imagine the head, how many things come in her brain, and well done, Madalena, really deserve it after all week.
We have to go to a quick break and then get back to you soon with the men.
and we're super happy that it's been so successful.
So there we have it, Maddalena Spanu, our new Formula Wing world champion, the Italian from about an hour's drive away in Oristano, just up the coast from here in Cagliari. So she will be celebrating with her family and friends very, very soon, I'm sure. And congratulations to Vina Pico taking the silver medal for France, and to Emilia Costi from Greece, who has sailed so well today and takes the bronze medal. And Karolina Kleszynska against the teenagers just wasn't quite able to measure up today. So the Polish rider finishes fourth, but still a great race by her. And we've got pretty much no time to dwell on what just happened, because we get into the men's third race of their final. And well, we've seen a lot of drama we've seen Matis Gio leading 2 races and not able to see out the win. He must be beginning to wonder, what has he got to do to win this world title, because he's only got to win 1 more race. But now that's also true of Francesco Capuzzo. He won that race just now. So the Italian is also a match point. Sean Herbert, who we're looking at, sailed fantastically to win a race earlier in the final, but he's still 2 wins away. And Tomasi yet to put a win on the board. That's who we're looking at there in the red bib. 3 minutes to go to the start of this men's race. I'm sure they would have been watching carefully. Right, so we got Francesco Capuzzo nominally in the lead. So as things stand, Capuzzo would win if nothing else were to happen. So he actually moves ahead of Matis Gio. So he wins on the tiebreak as things stand. So Matis Gio is now hoping that we manage to see this race out. We're not far off our cutoff for when racing can take place.
Yeah, after the race, this race is going to be really important to make the final result. Capuzzo and Matis, they have 2 match points. So one or the other that is finishing front, it will be the world champion. Probably we will. If somebody else will win, then we have to struggle to make the result.
So theoretically, if Sean Herbert were to win the next race, he's on 1 win at the moment. If he were to win the next race, then Sean Herbert could still win. So we're only having 1 more race. This is it. This is absolutely going to be the last race, because we've run out of time. So the only person of these 4 who can't win the gold medal is Alessandro Tomasi.
Yeah.
Sean Herbert has an outside. Well, no, it's a straight
can
fight.
Bronze. He can win bronze.
So it's yes, but gold medal is what I'm talking about.
Gold it can be Sean, Matis, and Capuzzo.
Yes. So whoever wins out of Capuzzo, Gio, or Herbert, whoever wins this next race is going to win the world title.
Yeah.
Oof, I'm glad you're here, Mirko.
No, this is gonna be. No, it's gonna be. It's gonna be really. I mean, 1 minute, 3 seconds to go. The conditions at least are good. The Mistral is in. There is some breeze. Everyone is foiling.
Yes, this is much more satisfactory way to resolve the world title than some of the conditions we saw earlier, even though I still found those marginal foiling conditions extremely exciting. Now we have a really difficult race course to read, although we have seen the left-hand side. I think would we marginally favour the left-hand side over the right-hand side?
I don't want to say. Let's follow what Sean Herbert is going to
Yeah, I mean, he was certainly reading the lighter wind conditions extremely well. But wow, we've got a 3-way fight, and Alessandro Tomasi on the left in the red bib 10 seconds to go. He will still have an effect on the outcome, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And off they go. Launch out of the line. It's a clear start. That's what we want to see. And it's a really good start by Francesco Capuzzo up on the left-hand side. He has a marginal advantage on Matis Gio. And Alessandro Tomasi also doing well. Sean Herbert forced to tack out to the right.
Yeah.
But we know Sean Herbert is very good at finding... Oh, hang on. I looked at Sean Herbert for a moment, and suddenly Matis Gio has moved ahead of Francesco Capuzzo. I take my eye off the ball, and Gio overtakes Capuzzo. That happened in a very short space of time.
But you can imagine over the next 5 minutes what can happen. If Tomas is going to win, he will win for bronze because he will put himself with one match point, and he will be in front of Sean, so that means bronze. If and it will frozen Matisse and Capuzzo position, which it will become the world champion, whoever will be in front between those two. So there is so many multiple different things. And Sean, if he's gonna win, then it will become world champion. So.
You're making my head hurt. I can't compute all of this. I'm glad that you're on top of this, Mirko. It's looking extremely tight going towards the top mark. Alessandro Tomasi, Matis Gio, Sean Herbert is close between all of them, but it is Gio who goes around in the lead, the yellow bib wearer. As things stand, Gio would win the world title. The fact that Alessandro Tomasi stands between him and Sean Herbert and Francesco Capuzzo, it couldn't be a better scenario for Gio right now than for him to be leading and Tomasi to be in second. But Tomasi holds on for the jibe a little bit longer. Gio is going for a more defensive move against the other two, so he's jibed off a little bit earlier. He's not so concerned about what Tomasi does because he knows that Tomasi can't beat him to the world title. But Tomasi could have the way left clear. We'll see how things work out. Who's going to get to the bottom in first place? Tommaso's looking like a threat to Gio. Gio's who we're watching as he goes through the jibe. How's it going to play out? We'll see Tommaso come into picture fairly soon. It's very close between these two. Ooh. Who's going to get round in first? It's so marginal. Now, Gio's got to be careful that he doesn't get caught up in a battle here with Tomasi. Tomasi is tacked away. That's good news for Gio. Gio hits a bit of a header. He also sees a gust ahead of him. Will he hold on to get into that gust? That could be the gust and the lift when he tacks that he needs to stay in the lead. What do you think about the far side?
I don't know. I like the position of Ale Tomasi, which it might break the eggs on the table. I don't know. In Italian is rompi le uova. He's on the center. Let's see if Matisse can round the mark because they will. I mean, they were all almost at the same moment. They round the gate. There is like 3 seconds between each. Look at Capuzzo.
They're coming in with
the lever to Sean.
Whoa. It's going to be so close at this top mark. Which way is it going to go? All four are still in the fight. This is not looking... Is it not looking good? Oh, no, Guillaume's ahead of one of them. Oh, Guillaume's going to have to tack away, but is he on the lay line? Has he managed to get on the lay line, or did he tack earlier than he wanted to? This is so close.
He put him inside. He really spot on the... The move of Matisse was really, really, really precise, I must say.
That was high pressure sailing by Gio, and he's jibed straight off. I'm not sure if he really wanted to. Is that the right move? This is still hanging in the balance right now.
This is the last downwind. This is really important because when you start to round in the last mark, then it's over. Just a couple of meters on the port.
Oh, Gio down the far side. He's on the right of our. That's him on the left of our picture. Gio has jibed back onto starboard, but have the other two got ahead of him? Let's see. It's so close still, too close to call. And there's so little runway left in this race.
Okay.
And
no, Ale Tomasi.
Tomasi, the one person who can't win the world title, is going to cross the line in third. Guillaume is going to go across in second, and that surely will be enough for Guillaume to take the world title.
I think, I'm guessing, like this, in the way that they finish, well, probably I make a mistake, but should be Guillaume, Capuzzo, silver, and Tomasi, bronze.
Let's put it out there. Let's say congratulations to Mathis Guillaume. He didn't win the last race, but that doesn't matter. Crossing the line in second behind Alessandro Tomasi, and Guillaume has won the world title. And look at the elation. It's finally sunk in, and he's done just enough to scrape across the line. The Frenchman has had such a difficult day. He normally reigns supreme, but I don't think the pressure got to him. I just think the wind did not play his way, but he managed to grind out a victory today. And if anyone deserves that world title after a performance like that, it's Mathis Guillaume, and he continues to be the dominant force in men's wing foiling. He's the first ever Formula Wing world champion. Congratulations to him.
Congratulations. Yeah, really congratulations. Was a really, really nice, great, amazing final.
And a great day also for Italian wing foiling Mirko. Francesco Capuzzo with silver, Alessandro Tomasi winning that last race to, oh no, not enough to clinch bronze. It looks like actually Sean Herbert. So apologies, Sean. Sean Herbert takes the bronze medal.
Must be something, I mean, he won Ale Tomasi. I don't know. I don't understand.
Tomasi was given a penalty for touching a mark in that race.
That was a penalty to Tomasi.
Right,
okay.
so...
This is why it doesn't have the bullet, the match point. Okay.
I'm sorry if we haven't been the clearest that we'd like to be, but that is the sign of a really, really tight conclusion to this World Championship. And you know what? It's 3 minutes past 5, Mirko.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Mathis Guillaume managed to win that on the water, and that it wasn't by some kind of default. Yeah. And in fact, Francesco Capuzzo is the person who would have profited if we hadn't have had that final race, because Capuzzo had done just enough to pull into the lead on the tie break. But in the end, Guillaume has done enough with that last gasp race just at the 5 o'clock cutoff. And what an incredible way to see out the World Championship here in Cagliari. The Frenchman just getting ahead of the local favourites, Capuzzo and Tomasi. And congratulations to Sean Herbert. Yeah. He's stopped it being a European clean sweep. New Zealand, they've put their stamp on international wing foil racing. Well, Mirko Babini, it all worked out in the end. We had our dodgy moments today, but in the end, we can be happy with how that was resolved.
Yeah, for sure we are happy. I'm happy because at the end, having all day racing and the win for this Formula Wing World Championship here in Cagliari, amazing for all competitors, amazing this last day with the final, and amazing the final. So I'm really happy that we got to an end and we have the Italian is on the podium, which is good, and Maddalena, she won the world title, at least also won gold. I'm really happy. So thank you, Andy. It's always an amazing adventure to speak on live with you and comment, do the commentary with you. Be co-commentator with you is always insane. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mirko. You're the best. So from Mirko Babini and me, Andy Rice, and from all the team here in Cagliari, hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks very much. And we will see you next year for the Formula Wing World Championship, 2nd edition.